So I've been an entrepreneur for 35 years. I live with one of the greatest entrepreneurs of all time. My wife started and sold Spanx, and people always ask me all the time, how are you teaching your kids about entrepreneurship? I think about that a lot because I didn't have a mentor really growing up showing me the ropes of entrepreneurship. So here are a few things that I wish I knew before I started my first company that would have saved me time, money, and a whole lot of embarrassment. The first lesson is it's gonna take twice as long and cost twice as much. It takes a long time to build a brand in this country. I remember when I went into the president of Coca-Cola with our idea for a coconut water company. He loved the idea and he said, this is a great idea. It's gonna take 8 years to build. I'm like, 8 years? What are you talking about? Why 8 years? He's like, because it takes 8 years to build a company in this country. Now, of course, there's exceptions to the rule, but in general, I found throughout my journey, it takes about 8 years. So anyone that thinks it's gonna be overnight success because of what they see on Instagram or people posting, yes, there are people that have overnight successes, but it takes a long time to build the foundation, the brand, the customer loyalty, the friend-to-friend marketing and talking about your product. It takes time. So be patient, build a strong foundation, and know I'm in this for several years to get it to where it has to be. The second thing I wish someone had told me when I started my business was you're going to have to reinvest your profits. I thought make money, put it in your pocket, go buy a car, go buy a watch. Doesn't work like that. The first business that I was in, we sold sports CDs for professional sports teams. So we were making CDs with all the songs that they played in the team's arenas with great moments in history, like live calls, Michael Jordan at the buzzer, and we packaged those as musical programs and sold them to retailers. And we did a CD for the Chicago Bulls, and a retailer called Montgomery Ward's bought 500,000 of them at $3. So we got a check for $1.5 million. I'm like, this is amazing. I'm buying a house. And my partner was like, oh no, we're taking all that money, all that profit, we're gonna reinvest it and sign pay for exclusive rights from all the different sports leagues. So we're the only people that can put out sports CDs. And I was like, what? No, I'm buying the house. We went back and forth and he convinced me and he was right. We reinvested the money and a year later we sold our company for $16 million. When you start to make money and profits are coming in and you have momentum, very often it's important and takes a lot of discipline to reinvest those profits into your business, to grow your business, to scale your business. As a young person, as a first-time entrepreneur, that's a really hard thing to do, especially if you have no money, but it's a really important thing to do if you believe in your business. Number 3, start messy. Momentum is everything. Speed matters. Dragging your feet, overthinking things, going back and forth on packaging and ideas. Just start the process. It's okay if you don't have everything figured out. It's okay if you feel like the timing isn't perfect. It's okay to be messy. And I wish I knew that because a lot of times the lack of speed has killed deals for me. It's killed opportunity. It's killed becoming first to market. Just start. Number 4, and this is a big one. Your friends might not support you. You're gonna hear, if it was such a good idea, how come the big guys haven't done it? Or you don't have enough experience, or you don't do sales. And they're either gonna talk you out of the idea that you have, or they're gonna tell you what you already know, that you can do it. When you're first starting out, my wife always says, that's when your ideas are most vulnerable. Don't go to people just to seek validation. Seek out people that have already done and been where you wanna go and get advice from them. I still struggle with this, but I wish someone told me years ago, but you're gonna have to learn how to say no a lot. Your number one enemy is distraction, getting pulled in too many different directions. It's okay to say no when you're starting a business. You're starting a business. You're gonna be out of balance. It's gonna require a lot of your time. You can't keep putting more on your plate without taking things off of your plate, or your plate's gonna overflow. So just remember, you have permission, and you don't need an excuse why to say no to a dinner you don't wanna go to. All those 15 minutes of requests for your time, they add up, and you need those 15 minutes badly when you're starting your business. Next, your first idea is likely gonna change. One of the most important things as an entrepreneur, especially a first-time entrepreneur, is starting the process. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to have it all right. The market will dictate a lot of what you do going forward. I used to believe that like, oh, this is my widget and this is what no, you're gonna make tweaks to the packaging. You're gonna make tweaks to the product. You're gonna make tweaks to your innovation, all by listening to customer feedback. So your first product, where you end up might not necessarily be where you start, but you have to get started. Number 7, obsess over the product over everything. I had a company called Sheets. They were oral dissolvable strips that you put on your tongue like a Listerine strip, but they were infused with caffeine, basically like a Red Bull on your tongue. Boom, you get it, caffeine kick. I mean, I thought this was gonna be the biggest thing ever in the history of mankind. I've got everybody I knew got invested in this deal. I'm like, 5 Hour Energy was selling like 10 million 2.5 ounce bottles a week. We're gonna crush them, forget it. And the first week, we had the biggest celebrities in this deal. We had basketball players, we had musicians, actors, everybody was in. The first week, sales were through the roof. Next week, I'm doubling down on national ads, through the roof. Week 3, I'm like, I'm getting a house in Antigua, Jamaica, I'm buying an island. Week 4, because the product wasn't great. Caffeine is really bitter and hard to mask the taste, so people didn't love the flavor and the taste profile of this. You could have the biggest celebrities in the world, you can have the biggest marketing campaign, but if the product isn't great, it's not gonna work. Obsess on the product.
How do you obsess on the product, and what does that look like?
I mean, you have to make sure that the product is right. You have to listen to your customers. You have to get feedback. You have to see if people are sharing it friend to friend. Are you getting repeat customers? I mean, those are the metrics that I would be looking at early on in the journey. And if the answer is no, then pivot. I wish people asked me this one question. How is your product different than the other products in the space? And it's really important that you can articulate how you're different, why you're different, and why you're uniquely positioned. Entrepreneurs either do one of two things. They make something better or they create something brand new. For those of you that are going into business with somebody and you're choosing your partner, that's totally fine, but you have to make sure up front, and man, I've made this mistake twice in my life, that you get everything in writing and you think about worst case scenarios. Most people that go into partnerships, you're in a partnership with your friend, maybe a family member, maybe someone you've done business with before, and you think, oh, nothing's ever gonna go wrong. Well, things do go wrong, and people do change when all of a sudden the chips are purple and worth 20 times what they were 5 years ago. So you wanna think about the worst case scenarios. What if my partner has all this equity and decides he wants to move to Utah and ski, and I'm left running the business and he's skiing? Should he still get 50% of the business if I'm spending 12 hours a day on it, 18 hours a day on it, and he's spending 0? Think through all the scenarios and make sure that you have a clear-cut exit strategy, partnership agreement in place, going through doomsday scenarios, and get it in writing. You never know how big your company's gonna be or what's gonna happen. Invest the time, invest the money, get a lawyer, get an ironclad agreement, make sure you understand the agreement before you sign the agreement, and then you're protected. Well, if you didn't know this one, you're gonna know it really quickly when you start your business. You wear every hat when you start. You're the mailroom person, you're the secretary, you're the CEO, you're the creative director, you're everything. And you might not be great at everything, but you are gonna wear every single hat. But as soon as you can afford to hire your weaknesses, hire them. It frees you up to do what you're good at and put your energy into the things that are probably gonna move the needle the most in your business at its early stages. The next thing I wish I knew was actually advice I got from my wife. She always says to me, make it, sell it, make it, sell it, make it, sell it, make it, sell it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, people spend so much time worrying about all this stuff and focusing on the wrong things. At the end of the day, make a product, sell it, take the money and make more product, sell more of it. Like, don't get lost in what matters the most, bringing in money. Spend your time on things that are gonna bring in money. Making a product, making sure you sell the product, get more of it, and repeat. Business doesn't have to be so complicated. At the end of the day, you gotta make something and sell it. Yes, there's blocking and tackling. Yes, there's marketing and other things. But when you have your product, get it off the shelves, make more of it, and get it off the shelf. Lastly, you are the business plan. At the end of the day, it's on your shoulders. You gotta make it happen. If you don't have a seat at the table, you gotta go and make one. You can't rely on contractors, you can't rely on consultants. It's you. Build your story, build your brand story, get it out to the world, make it happen. There's no one-size-fits-all piece of advice for entrepreneurs, but these are some of the things that when I think back on my journey that I wish I knew early on, again, to save me time, money, and embarrassment, and help me get from A to B faster. So I hope some of these things help you out on your journey. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want to hear more of the lessons that I've learned throughout my business journey.